Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth. And for today's video, I am coming to you barefaced because I'm going to be talking about the newest foundation from Tarte. This is their Maracuja Juicy Glow Foundation, and I got mine in the shade 12N Fair Neutral, which I think is the lightest shade in this line. And just to tell you a little bit about it before we get into it, so this retails or will retail for $40 for 1 ounce. I purchased the set that they launched with on QVC. So I got both the foundation and the brush for about $40 plus shipping and handling and tax. And apparently the foundation and the brush together would be a $74 value. So if you're interested in the brush and you want to pick up both, you can do that. It's a nice enough brush. I haven't used it yet, but it has like a bamboo handle and it's just kind of like a dense kabuki style brush. So I will be using that today. But if you did want to wait a little bit, there will be a travel size available for $16, and that will be about 1/3 of an ounce or 1/3 of the size of the full size. But that will only come in 6 shades. So the full shade range of this product will be 24 shades. So I think, as is typical, they only have a fraction of the shades available in the travel size. So as far as the claims of this product, so Tarte kind of gained some notoriety because they flew like 50 some influencers to Dubai to kind of promote this foundation. So I think the idea is it's a very hydrating foundation that would be good for kind of desert conditions. So we'll keep that in mind. So they describe this as a tint, even though the packaging says it's a foundation, which is interesting. And it says, spread your wings and glow with a tint that broke the internet for glazed, juicy skin. Medium flexible coverage with a dewy, radiant finish for healthy, glowing skin. Encapsulated Maracuja spheres create natural dewiness for firmer, brighter, smoother looking skin. Superfruits and hyaluronic acid for juicy hydration. Weightless, illuminating tint reflects light to blur the look of pores and lines for a 16-hour soft focus glow. And I will say that I don't think I will be able to get 16 hours of wear out of this foundation, unfortunately. It's almost 2 o'clock here, so I'm thinking I'll be able to do maybe a solid 8 to 9 hours, but unfortunately I got a little bit of a late start. So this is a vegan foundation, 16-hour wear. It's supposed to be waterproof, fragrance-free, 91% naturally derived ingredients, made in Italy, and as I said, I have the shade 12N Fair Neutral, which is fair skin with a balance of light and cool undertones. And I thought I would just quickly compare it to one of the other products in this kind of Maracuja line. So I've had their Maracuja Miracle Mist, which I normally use just to set my brushes, but I'll reach for that, I guess, as needed. And then I think they just sell like pure Maracuja oil, so like kind of a hydrating face oil. And then of course we all know their very popular products in this Maracuja lip line. So I'll probably apply that as well. But anyway, turning back to this product, so this is supposed to be light buildable, natural radiant. So this is light buildable, and this is supposed to be medium flexible. And this says natural radiant, and this says dewy radiant. Okay, so another thing I thought was interesting, I guess, comparing these two products that seem kind of similar on paper, is that the shades in this product don't really kind of seem to correspond to this one. So if you tried this product before and you really enjoy it, I don't think there is a direct comparison. So this product starts out with 10N, which is this shade that I'm holding, 10N Fair Neutral, and then it goes to 13B Fair Light Beige, which I also have. And like I said, this is 12N. So I don't know why they kind of went with a different kind of naming system. If you've seen any of my other Tarte foundation reviews, like this Hydroflex foundation that came out maybe last year, this is also in 12N. So that's the shade I have been picking up. But I just thought I would quickly kind of show you on the back of my hand here. So that one has like this kind of dispenser. That one is 10N Fair Neutral. And then this is 13B Light Beige. And then getting into this packaging here, for some reason I was a little surprised by the price at first, even though looking back at other Tarte foundations, like they all seem to be kind of around the $40 range. So I don't know if Tarte is just one of those brands where I just get used to not paying full price because they have sales so often. Like with the Tarte sculpting wand, I probably will pick it up at one point, but it wasn't a product I felt like I wanted to pay full price for, especially when it was kind of duping a product that was not that much more expensive. So this is what this product looks like. I think a little bit more luxurious, I guess, with the foil in that bamboo cap. This also does have a squeeze tube, but it does have a thinner nozzle. So again, this is 12N, which honestly looks a little yellow. So we have 10N, 13B, and then 12N in the new product. That is, wow, that's like orange. All right, we'll see how that does. Let me just quickly swatch it next to, because I just had this out, the Hydroflex, which is also a pretty thin product, but I think it's a little bit more, I guess, oily or combo skin friendly. So these are supposed to be the same shade. That is the Hydroflex, and that is the new Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow. And yeah, I'm kind of unsure about this, to be honest, as we go into it. So I also pulled out the Shape Tape Cloud Coverage, which I do have a video. That doesn't look as orange either, does it? So that's 12N in this product, the Shape Tape Cloud Coverage. And then, again, just swatching it next to these other two. I mean, look how much, like, more yellowy peachy that is. So again, that's the Hydroflex, the new Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow, and then the Cloud Cream. All right, let's see how we do. And again, that's the lightest shade. It's supposed to be a neutral shade. And then going up to, the next one is 16B, Fair Light Beige. So with that little exploration out of the way, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna put a little bit of this Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer on. This is just like a kind of lightweight gel moisturizer. I don't wanna obviously do anything too crazy, so we can see how the foundation performs on its own. And I do have my skincare SPF applied, but because I do have dry skin, I should mention I have dry skin. I am 37 years old. And I do have obviously some redness. I have a little bit of a breakout there. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a corrector as I normally do. This is the Charlotte Tilbury one, but Tarte does make a corrector that's pretty good. Been a while since I used it. If you are interested in a corrector, you might wanna check out Tarte. Okay, so let's go to their application tips here. So it says to squeeze onto the back of hand and dot evenly onto face, which is normally how I start off with my foundation application. Using a dense brush or fingers, so I'll use this and maybe try my fingers as well. Blend in circular motion starting at the center of the face and blending outward. Wear with the creaseless concealer, which I do have, for added coverage. And this is in the shade 10N Fair, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how that works with this particular shade of foundation. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it then. So I am going to start off doing half my face, and again, that's the thickness of it. It's very slow moving down the hand. So not super liquidy, but not as moussey as the Shape Tape. I just can't get over this shade. And this does have a 6-month shelf life, by the way, made in Italy. So 6 months is not a lot of time really for a foundation. See how we kind of do with the blemish. So I guess I'll just start off with the brush first. And I think they did say this was going to be buildable, right? Like, so far it doesn't look like it's giving a lot of coverage, which I guess is good because the shade does not look great. It just in general looks like I just have, I don't know, some weird like orangey tint to my face. I mean, I guess it kind of neutralized some of the redness. I mean, the brush is good. No complaints about the brush. I think it's just your standard kind of kabuki brush. But if they're giving it like a $30 value, I guess it should be decent. See how much we can kind of build up. To be honest, I'm just very confused by this product. All right, let's go in. So that's the side with it applied, and that's the side without. Texture-wise, it feels nice, but again, like, it's just such a bizarre color. All right, so just to kind of see how it goes in with the fingers. I think with the other tinted hydrator product, they do say that you can use your fingers to blend. All right, so I maybe got too much to kind of make it work with my fingers, and if you don't like applying makeup with your fingers. I have to say though, like, I think products that are this emollient, that have not a lot of pigment, it just becomes a little difficult to blend or to build the product. And if you couldn't tell from my heart pillow behind me, it is almost Valentine's Day, so mid-February. I'm not really planning on going outside or anything, but I mean, I think, like, you can tell the finish is definitely more suited to probably dry skin. All right, not a lot of coverage, and I think it just gave me a general orange tint, kind of like a bronzing product. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, and then I'll be back to do the concealer. And I am filming in daylight, obviously, which I don't normally do, so I'm trying to, I guess, not be blown out too much. Let me just turn it down a little bit so you get the full effect of this shade. All right, so let's go in with the concealer. And this concealer, let's see. I do like this concealer. I have used it before. This is supposed to give you hydrating full coverage. This also does come in a full size and a travel size, and I think there are two shades, one possibly two. There's 8S Porcelain Sand, which is very fair skin with warm golden undertones, which arguably I have now, but that's not my normal color. And then there's also 10B Fair Beige, which is fair skin with cool pink or rosy undertones. And then we have 10N, which is what I have. So yeah, I'm mostly neutral. I kind of lean a little bit to the cool side. Sometimes it just depends on the product line. But this concealer, for example, is supposed to be neutral, and that, again, like, looks almost pink compared to this foundation. So I'm just using my BK Beauty brush to blend that in. My skin definitely looks hydrated. I'd say if you do have dry skin even, you could probably forgo the extra, like, priming moisturizer step. Now I just kind of look like a grease bucket. And like I said, this isn't like an overly hydrating product. And even like with my skincare today, I did all my normal steps and I used sunscreen, but I didn't go in with like my heaviest, richest moisturizer either. So let's see what happens if I set this. So I'm gonna start with my under eyes. I know they say it's creaseless, but I think if your skin creases, then odds are you'll get a little bit of creasing with your concealer as well. I guess it's just a matter of how badly it creases and whether it really settles. So, all right, let's try. I'm gonna take a fluffier powder brush. Let's see what happens if I set half. So I think that brought it back to kind of a more attractive finish, a little less kind of oily. All right, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of concealer on this blemish. Could probably use the same Tarte one, but even that Dior concealer, which is like not a lightening or a brightening shade for me really. I mean, that just makes it like stick out, doesn't it? Oh well. It'll make me feel better anyway. All right, and then I'll just do some I guess, light makeup. All right, so before I hop off camera to do the rest of my makeup, I'm just going to zoom you guys in here so you can get as close a look as you can after kind of the initial application. I mean, yeah, you can see like around the edges, like down my neck. It's not a good color. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna hop off camera and I'll be right back. All right, so I thought I would just quickly pop back on camera. I've been using this Tarte in Bloom palette, which has been out for a while, and just to quickly go through. So I used, I think, Charmer all over the lid. I used Smarty Pants in the crease, and then some of Jet Setter in the outer crease. I've used a Firecracker on the outer 2/3 of the lid, and then Funny Girl on the inner third. I think I've also used some Flower Child to kind of blend out, but that Funny Girl shade is not the best. So I'm wetting my Rephr 28 brush with the Maracuja Miracle Mist. It does have a nice mister on it. And going into Funny Girl. You can see that helps kind of beef up the shadow a little bit. I think when this palette came out, people were saying that that particular shade wasn't the best, but there wasn't another shade that kind of did what I wanted it to. And then I'm just going to use my Victoria Beckham pencil in Cocoa. I feel like I got a little bit of fallout. All right, and then I'm going to use my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara as I normally do. It's probably about time for a new one of these, to be honest. And then the reason why I'm applying my mascara on camera, I did want to incorporate as many, I guess, Tarte products as I have that I like. So that's why I reached for this Tarte in Bloom. I wouldn't say that Tarte has my favorite eyeshadow formula. Their eyeshadows usually have a vanilla scent to them, which is not really my favorite. But, you know, the mattes and everything are fine. But their mascara, their Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mascara, is my holy grail. So I did want to kind of give credit where credit is due. I do like that concealer as well. I believe it's one of Kathleen Light's favorite. So I always curl my lashes because they're very straight and they have a tendency to point down. The reason I like this mascara is because it's a waterproof formula, so it helps to hold that curl, but it's also pretty easy to remove with like a waterproof eye makeup remover. It's not like the benefit they're real or anything. And it also holds the curl. Builds up some nice volume, so I'll go in for a second coat. So that's 2 coats. And I know with the liner and everything, it's a little bit, I guess, more difficult to see. This mascara is probably also due for a replacement, but haven't yet switched it out for the one I have in my backup stash. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there, to be honest. I'll just put some of this Maracuja Juicy Lip in Orchid. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to give Tarte credit for the products that I do like for them when, like, this foundation is probably not gonna work out for me. So I really love this product. This is just kind of the original one, I think, the Juicy Lip. It's not like the plumping formula, but really cushiony, really gives the lips a nice shine, helps to fill in the lip lines. So that is a great product theirs. I also have it in like a little sample size in rose. Yeah, I was gonna trot out some of their like cream products that I've used before in different videos. Their Breezy bronzer and their blush, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is and see where the day takes us. Another product I do like from Tarte is their original like Amazonian clay blushes, the powder ones. But I don't know, I guess I just feel like I have enough color on my face and the focus is really to see how this foundation wears. So, all right, so now it is a little after 2, it's almost 2:30. So I'll check back in later today. I have a feeling I'm going to be looking quite radiant. You can tell even without powder, I'm looking very very hydrated. So I guess it would have been nice if Tarte wanted to create such a hydrating type product. It would have been nice if they'd thrown some SPF in here. That would have made more sense to me, especially if they're going to go more golden with the tone, to have it kind of be more of that one-step summer type product instead of how they're marketing this, which is like part foundation, part skin tint. It's kind of confusing. I don't know. But anyway, I will check back in later to see how this foundation wore on my dry skin being indoors all day. So I'll see you soon. All right, so it is the end of the night. I just looked at the time. Hold on. All right, so it's like 5 minutes to midnight. So we definitely hit the, I think, 9-hour mark. And as you can tell, like, I don't think it looks great right now. I mean, it's just in general kind of shiny looking, and even though I do have dry skin, I still kind of get shiny, especially in my forehead. And admittedly, sitting in front of a camera with lights, it tends to make your face look shinier than it might look in real life. So I'm just gonna grab my little brush here and see how things look if I just powder a little bit. I haven't touched up any of my makeup other than to apply some lip oil. So that's how it looks powdered after 9.5, almost 10 hours. Yeah, I don't think that's bad wear-wise. I think it is starting to look kind of broken up. And what I did notice is, if I zoom in here, there's a little bit of settling in this kind of forehead crease. I think it has maybe worn away a little bit. You can still see that kind of orange color though. It hasn't settled into these like marionette lines though, so if that's kind of your problem area. I think in general, I think just having kind of a lighter coverage product, that's usually not as big of a problem, at least in my experience. So I think as I alluded to earlier, I was looking back at this video that I filmed, the Shape Tape Cloud Coverage, and this does have an SPF of 15, and I think in that video I was kind of explicitly comparing it to the Tower 28 complexion product, which I think does kind of bridge the gap a little bit between sunscreen and makeup. So again, I think it's kind of weird the way that Tarte chose to market this product as a foundation. I think they could have come out with something a little bit more unique, because otherwise it's just like Tarte's putting out a new foundation every 6 months just to kind of see what gets people's attention, it feels like. I think if they had marketed this more as kind of, I don't know, an overall complexion enhancer, especially one that had maybe an SPF, something that would give you kind of a glow, but it wasn't a foundation in the traditional sense, I think that would have made a lot more sense to me. And granted, this lightest shade that they have still is really not ideal for my skin tone. So it would have been nicer if they'd come out with one that was lighter, a little bit less orange. But it did remind me a lot, as I was thinking about it, of the Tula sunscreen, which I think I might have given it to my husband because he's more olive tone than I am. And sometimes when I give things to him, it's like throwing something into a black hole. So I wasn't able to locate that product to compare it to this one, but I'm pretty sure I used it in the video where I kind of followed Kaki's makeup routine in a particular video. So it kind of gives me those vibes. Like, it's a little bit too golden for me, but if you have a different skin tone, it might be a really nice kind of no makeup kind of complexion enhancer. I don't agree that this is like a medium buildable foundation product, and I think it would be best used as just kind of a sheer light layer, just to give you a little bit of color and make you look a little sun-kissed. So that's my experience with this particular shade. I'm not sure how the other shades fare, but anyway. So if you are interested in that kind of product, I guess I would recommend it, especially if you have dry skin. If you are looking for more of a kind of correction type product in terms of your complexion, I don't know if that would be ideal, especially if you are near my skin tone. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you do plan to try out this product, especially if you try out a different shade. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, especially if you enjoy reviews of Tarte foundation products. And until next time, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.